So it's been a very crazy 48 hours, especially on Twitter. It's been an eye-opening experience where we've seen people go completely mask off over an event relating to American politics. Now, what was that event? Well, very quickly to summarize, on Saturday, there was an assassination attempt against former President Donald Trump. Miraculously, he would only be grazed in the ear by one of the bullets, and the shooter was immediately dispatched. However, the unfortunate news is that an innocent bystander had their life taken by a stray bullet. Now, the reaction to this on social media, Twitter in particular, has been absolutely disgusting. And as Chibi Reviews here points out, it has been an eye-opening experience to see how many people lack a moral compass. People on Twitter were glorified.
This is a very common thing that a lot of people think that they are, they think that it's good whenever bad things happen to bad people. But I think the truth is that they are looking for people that they can release their anger onto. I think that's the way it is for a lot of these people.
And encouraging acts of violence like we saw on Saturday against people who they
like
have
acceptable
different
targets.
political views then. It is absolutely disgusting what people are saying, and it's from all over, all walks of life. People are saying these crazy things. You have people even like Jack Black saying next time the shooter better not miss. And yesterday I spent some time and talked about what's going on in the VTuber scene. A lot of people were making various comments in the VTubing scene about this event. Very disgusting comments. We saw some mainly from Tricky, but we covered some other VTubers.
I think it's really funny, especially when VTubers do this, because like being a VTuber is like your privacy is like one of the main reasons why people want to be VTubers. So whenever I see them like joking and like, you know, fucking around with like, oh yeah, it's funny that this person invaded your personal space in real life and put your life in danger. It's like you're a VTuber for one reason, probably to avoid that. So how is it that how do you do this?
As well. And today we're going to do just that. We're going to keep looking at more VTubers saying this stuff and also look at some members of the game industry as well as game journalists who are saying similar things about this event.
Oh boy, here we go.
And before we get into the new examples, I just want to really reflect here for a second. I spent a lot of time going through the comments of this video, and I have to say I am very, very impressed with how people reacted to this video. I am happy to see people from all ends of the political spectrum, people from all walks of life, coming together and realizing that glorifying and encouraging violence over politics is too far. And I'm glad people got there and made that realization.
I think the reason why is because it's just something that's obviously indefensible. And I think that what really makes people mad is the, it's like the sense of self-righteousness that those people have. That's what makes it incredibly fucking annoying.
But I'm not surprised that people were doing that in the comments of my video. So what did we talk about? Well, a lot of VTubers like these ones right here making disgusting comments about the situation. However, today we're going to focus on a new one from a VTuber named Pepper. So what is Pepper up to? Well, she made this tweet saying this. Oh, right. Since my timeline won't stop and I just saw a similar post, I want to say something about that assassination attempt yesterday. I think they should have had better aim. I'm all for game-ending people who shouldn't be in power. We British people have done similar many times.
Man, sanest VTuber? Stop saying game ending. He just says that to avoid YouTube demonetization. He's not saying it for that reason. Oh, they lay peppered? Yep, there it is.
So this person is openly saying that not only should Donald Trump had been actually assassinated on Saturday, they're also saying they are all for game-ending people that they believe shouldn't be in power.
Man. Well, if you want to use, you know, like, oh, this is what the British do, I guess this also, I mean, if she wants to push, you know, like, well, this is what the British have always done, what about, like, the colonialism where, like, Britain would go into, you know, a weaker country, a third world country, and then take their resources and kill their people. Like, so how do you think, like, for example, like there's all these like really big museums in the UK. Where did like, so how is it that they have this thing that's from Africa? How did it get there? Where did it come from? So I guess she supports colonialization too. It's just laying around.
Mask off. And they would go even further saying this. Basically, I'm saying some people deserve it.
I hope somebody never thinks that about you. Everybody likes to talk. Everybody always likes to talk. But the moment that they get put in the crosshairs, suddenly, now it's different. Oh, well, I don't deserve it. Yeah, that's the whole problem, is that somebody else thinks you do. The same as you think somebody else deserves it. Haha, that's the way it goes. Suddenly, it's a problem. Yeah, right? It's exactly it. Fucking hypocrites. Yeah, it's just these people are very... you know what I've said is that people are very generous with other people's money. This is the same thing.
Project 2025 could harm Americans a lot. For one, they want to take away women's rights to vote and ban abortions nationwide from what I've seen. And God, we've fought enough to have it. If it happens, I will go over there and help myself.
No, you won't. Shut up. This is probably the kind of person that gets a... You know, like makes their heart rate go up when they order, Uber Eats to the house and the delivery driver rings the doorbell. Like, this is the kind of person... Instead of just leaving the food there, like this is the kind of person we think that they're a revolutionary. You're a revolutionary for sure.
This is absolutely insane. People like this are so delusional, and their worldview is so delusional that they're living in an episode of The Handmaid's Tale. Okay.
So somebody says, I checked their account. They're 15 years old max. So they're probably 31 then. Okay. And also, like, if somebody's 15 and they're being an idiot on the internet. I remember whenever I was 15 and I was on the internet, and I remember getting checked for it. And it was, in retrospect, one of the best things that could have happened to me. So we're doing them a favor. Yeah, too bad. You're going to learn today.
They really think these things are going to happen, that women are going to lose their right to vote if Donald Trump is elected president.
That's right.
That is absolutely insane. And also this mention of Project 2025, I just want to share this funny DM I got. Some people were a little angry about my video yesterday. You know, the video where I condemned political violence. This person said, bro, F you, hypocrite.
You make lolicons look like garbage.
F Project 2025, effing Nazi. You make lolicons look like garbage. As a left-wing lolicon myself. Wow, thanks for sharing all of that. Yeah, that's a new one.
As a left-wing lolicon myself. Wow. Wow, why would you... Why is it that you would... Who would... Why? I'm afraid to Google it. Lolicon? It's basically like sexual, like, anime that involves, like, girls of questionable age. The question, by the way, is if they're 8 or 9 in a lot of cases. It's not like 17 and 18 here.
I've been called a Nazi for 5,000 different reasons that don't make any sense, but hey, at least this one's a new one, right? Condemning political violence is apparently a core tenet of the Nazi party. But anyways, back to the VTuber in question here, Pepper. The only thing they would actually respond to when they were being very heavily criticized for their comments about the situation, this was the only thing they replied to. Someone calling them fat. That was the only thing they felt was important enough to...
Because they only care about this issue because they're virtue signaling. They don't give a shit about this at all. They only care about their own image and how they look. That's the only thing that matters to them. That's why they're talking about this in the first place. Like, it's got nothing to do. So whenever you insult her appearance, well, she's doing it for her appearance. So if you do, that's going to upset her. And security levels rising. Yeah, no doubt.
Respond to by showing a picture of themselves to disprove that. They don't care that they're being labeled as this crazy person who's encouraging violence.
I wouldn't be surprised, like, like this could be a picture of her and it was taken in 2013. So I'm not really, like, I'm not going to put a lot of stock into something like this one way or another. But I think, yeah, it's very much a self-report of, like, this is what you care about. You care about how you look because that's what you're responding to. That's what you're fighting because you only did it to change how you look.
Against people they don't politically agree with. They're concerned about how people view their physical appearance.
Exactly.
That is absolutely insane. And like I said, we're going to see many different people from all walks of life getting in trouble for this stuff. Let's focus on a new person. This post made by Mark Kern saying, brand ambassador for Smite encouraged Trump shooter to try again since taken down.
Yep.
And defends her belief that the assassination attempt was faked. Yes. I don't know what it is about brand ambassadors. It's always ambassadors.
Well, the reason, so let me explain why brand ambassadors. This is going to be a base take, by the way, so get ready to get mad. The reason why brand ambassadors have this happen is because oftentimes brand ambassadors fit under a category that gaming content creators normally aren't. So like there are women, minorities, some sort of like unique sexual orientation, and these companies use these people like mascots in order to make it seem like they care about minorities or something like that. And because of that, these people don't get questioned a lot and they don't get pushback for what their opinions are because those opinions are being protected by their identification status. So that's why you see brand ambassadors doing this a lot. It's because they have an implicit sense of, oftentimes, they have an implicit sense of immunity from the consequences because of their identity.
Whether it's
Isn't that tokenism? It absolutely is. 100%. No, it's completely fake.
Twitch, games, what have you, who say the most unhinged stuff with this label in their bio. It's like showing up to a public space wearing your work uniform and then saying a bunch of crazy stuff. It is a terrible idea. But here's what they said. In a now deleted tweet, they said, if at first you don't succeed, ... a very unsubtle encouragement of people doing more violent acts like they did.
By the way, I don't have a problem with people saying that it's fake. I think you have every right to think that it's fake. Like, promoting violence is one thing, that's bad, but like saying that you think it's fake, I think that's totally fine. I don't want to see anybody get in trouble for that. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. There's a lot of weird things with that event. There are. I don't think it was fake, but I can see why somebody thinks it would.
On Saturday, and then they said this is so staged though and going to be very effective, which is a straight up conspiracy theory. This is straight up misinformation. Like, this is crazy that they would say this, but they would go further and say, to be 100% clear, I absolutely believe the target of today's shooting would sacrifice his own supporters to further his candidacy.
I think that's true, but like, this is like, what I love about this is that this sentence is like, okay, fine. But then it's like, now you're writing fan fiction about the conclusion that you just invented. That's the funny thing about this to me. It's like you say this and then you start writing fan fiction about what it means that he did this thing that you said that he did.
I think that is
so
the
dishonest.
Ultimate tragedy behind the Trump grift. He does not care about the people who have made him who he is. At the time I made this initial tweet, I had seen that no one was seriously injured in the shooting today. Knowing now that 2 died, I regret using flippant language, but I do believe it is wrong to speculate about the political implications of an assassination attempt. By the way, there's
the political implications of assassination attempt.
saying 2 people died. One of them was the shooter, by the way. And they're seemingly expressing some sort of sympathy for that. That's very interesting. But yeah, in reaction to all this, they have privated their account. Like,
good, that's what happens. You put a public opinion out there that's fucking stupid and people disagree with you. That's what you get. You want to avoid having this happen? Stop posting your opinions on a public space. Nobody has the right to have an opinion on the internet and for no one else to criticize it. This is why I take literally zero responsibility. Like, I put people on blast all the time. I never censor names. I will put them on blast anytime, and I'm never sorry, and I think it's funny. And the reason why is because if you are on the internet posting your opinions publicly. That's what you fucking deserve. That's what you get. And people do the same thing to me.
Everyone else does in these situations. They say the most out-of-pocket stuff
Yep.
on Twitter, and the second they receive any criticism, they immediately run and hide. So now we're going to move on to the next section of this video, the games journalist who had to say something about this situation. And it probably doesn't surprise you to see these familiar faces like Alyssa Mercante from Kotaku,
of course,
who had this initially to say, making jokes.
I think this is funny. I don't think there's anything wrong with her tweeting this. This is totally fine. I think it's funny. I would have tweeted this.
About the shooter, and Mark Kern saying, did you tweet and delete these, tagging her on Twitter right here?
Nothing wrong with this.
The funny thing is, I don't have an issue with these particular tweets.
Yeah,
she's making fun of the shooter, which is totally fair game, but I think it's more funny because they would start tweeting and then immediately change course, as Mark Kern would point out. They would make a few tweets on the situation and all of a sudden delete everything, and then instead of actually tweeting, they would just spam retweets, basically sharing their thoughts through other people to, I guess, avoid...
Weird to see people condemn political violence who are ambivalent to a genocide. Yeah, because it's happening on the other side of the world. Why the fuck would they care what's happening in Palestine? What, are you fucking retarded? Of course. Wow, I can't believe that people are going to care about the things that are happening in their country more than things that are happening on the other side of the world. What a fucking shock. It's amazing to me that, like, how is it that a person like this can exist? How is it possible? It's nuts. Brain small? Yeah, I don't even know what to say.
Getting criticism themselves, sharing stuff like this, saying, the dumbass who stared longingly into the sun.
See, this is always what happens, right? Let's worry about the government-funded genocide in Palestine, the standing away of rights stateside and the militarization of the police, among other things, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, let's stop giving Israel money. You want the conflict to stop? Stop giving Israel money. That'll make it stop. Fuck them. That's what I think. Fuck them. So, yeah, I agree. Okay, good. Next. Yeah, militarization of police? Absolutely. Sending away of rights? Absolutely. 100%. Totally agree. That was quick.
During an eclipse, stood up out of the Secret Service's protection for a photo op without knowing there were more shooters. And that is just complete misinformation. At that point, they knew the threat was neutralized. And when he put his fist up in the air, that was just to defy everything that was going on and to show strength. And I think
that's a sad take to hear. Yeah, I really don't give a shit. To be honest, I think that the only reason Israel exists is to destabilize the Middle East and to give Western powers the ability to do that internally. I think that's the reason. I think that's why they made it. They put it there on purpose back then. Yeah, that's what I think happened. I think that's the reason why we keep protecting them, is we use that as a proxy for us to destabilize their area.
It's really funny that Twitter people like this must think it's staged for someone to show toughness and bravery. They think it must be some sort of a dumb decision or something that's staged. But anyways, Alyssa wasn't the only person at Kotaku who was doing this strategy of just retweeting other people's words. And Carolyn here, we've talked about it before, would do the same, retweeting all of these messages, even saying or retweeting a message that said that they don't care about Trump's health, basically being very flippant of this whole situation and acting like this entire assassination.
I'm more upset by the sympathy this will stir around Trump and the violence it will lead to against vulnerable minorities like trans people. I don't see how those two things are related. I don't. That's what a negative... Is this what a negative IQ does? Yeah. The worst assassination attempt of all time will distract from the massive massacre carried out by Zionist forces in Gaza today. Totally true.
Attempt was taking attention away from what's happening in Gaza.
The U.S. is lost? No, you have to keep in mind that, like, a lot of these people are just terminally online freaks that would never be able to exist outside of a computer. Like, this is the truth. Like, you should never take them seriously or worry about what they're saying.
An issue
this is
with
not
that.
Real life.
And on top of that, this is her latest
here we go.
retweet saying, political violence is when violence is done to a politician. Everything they cause is a different thing, and you shouldn't worry about it.
Oh, jeez. I need to hit my head a few times in order to understand maybe what this person's trying to say. Okay. Political violence is when violence is done to a politician. Yes. Everything they cause is a different thing. You shouldn't worry about it. Well, yeah, there's a different word to it. Yeah, it's not the same word. Their definition is just wrong. Yeah, holy fuck.
That's a very strange thing to share after an attempted
This has 12K likes. The reason why it has a lot of likes is because the majority of Twitter is filled with mentally ill people that are sitting on Twitter all the time and are so focused on virtue signaling that they care more about seeming good than being good. And what you can notice with a lot of the really popular tweets about this is that these are really popular tweets made by people that look like they should be in a mental institution. And on top of that, they're done in a way that tries to project virtue. It's because these people are looking to make people think a certain way about them. They're looking for good boy points. Exactly, right? That's the reason why. That's one of the very big commonalities for it. It's all a minority. They aren't even real people. Sometimes. I don't think they're bots, actually.
Assassination. But anyways, let's move on to another person we've seen on this channel, a producer.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to say it again, and it gets me in a lot of trouble, but I don't think you should be able to have the trans flag and the Palestine flag at the same time. I don't. I think this is outrageous. This is crazy. What are you doing? Holy fuck. Like, wake up.
From Halo. Now you can see they're locked down as well because they made this tweet saying if y'all cared even half this much when it's a school of children, we'd be a much safer place. So they're using this.
Y'all cared half as much about a school of children would be a much safer place. We did. Remember whenever Uvalde happened and people said, like all of the cops should be arrested and taken out of the police force and there needs to be an internal investigation, and people still, every time that something bad happens and the police do it wrong, people say it must have been the guys from Uvalde. Absolutely, we did. It's not even a question. That was news for like a month. What are you talking about?
Situation to virtue signal about gun rights. And this is the same person, we talked about this in a previous video, who made a tweet stating, I honestly don't think I could work on a game that glorifies or fantasizes modern guns.
I see. Okay, this explains a lot.
Call of Duty, Battlefield, RB6. I've had moments I've struggled with Halo, but the weapons and world is pretty sci-fi, which creates a large enough separation from reality. This is the
I'm going to say exactly what I think. I think this is the most cringe, beta, pathetic, little bitch boy thing that you can possibly say. It's so fucking pathetic. You work on a game that is about killing people, killing aliens. Why are you killing the aliens? Why? The prophets are telling the elites to do this. They're not really bad. The elites aren't bad. They showed that in Halo 2. They have sentience. It's not like they're stupid. You're killing them. Just because it's with a gun that shoots blue bullets doesn't mean that they're not dead. Yeah, this guy makes a game about effectively killing illegal aliens, and he says, oh, wow, I've had moments where I've struggled. You've had moments where you struggled making a video game? Get new medication. What a fucking loser freak, man. Oh my god. Tell this to your therapist. This is pathetic. Oh my god. I've never so fucking true. This is so fucking pathetic, man. These are the people that worked on Halo Infinite? Yes. Doesn't that explain a lot? So you have these people, and keep in mind what this implies, right? It implies that this person is, and actually, to be fair, I don't know if they worked on Halo Infinite particularly, but what they said in their bio is that they are a producer for Halo. So I could be wrong about that, to be fair. But they are a producer for Halo. Yes. And so what does this mean? This means that Halo probably will not take certain directions because people like this are afraid of it converging with reality. And do you remember what I said before about how the prime mental illness with a lot of these people is that they want media to reflect their real world views? Yeah, there's going to be no ODST too. Why is it? It's because of pussies like this, freaks like this, weirdos like this. And you see these people putting up walls of different ways. Like, this is, I think, a great fucking example of what I've been saying about how a lot of these people, they are making these little changes in games. They're making sure that the game doesn't go down this road. It doesn't go down that road. It doesn't do this thing because it might reflect something that my real world views are against. This is the exact thing that I was talking about. It's parasites and losers like this. There it is. Right there in front of you. Isn't he comparing minorities with alien genociders that literally kill billions in glass planets? These people, you have to understand that these people do not think, they feel. This is the way it makes him feel. You're not going to reason him out of this position. The best thing to do is to just have somebody else do it. You can't reason with a person like this. You can't explain things to them. Creators lacking media literacy is dangerous. I know, that's the exact problem. And it's not even media literacy, it's media awareness. The fact that it's media and not real. It's a luxury belief? Oh, it absolutely is. I mean, the prime luxury belief is having the trans flag next to the Palestine flag. Holy fuck. It's insane. Like, your maximum... this guy is min-maxing virtue signaling. It's crazy. It actually makes me so mad.
Pretty sci-fi, which creates a large enough separation from reality. This is the person who's going to tell you about gun rights. The person who literally...
this is the kind of freak that wants to tell you what your opinions should be.
Can't separate fiction from reality and has a meltdown if guns in a video game look a little too realistic. So this whole situation, the past 48 hours or so, has been very eye-opening, like I said earlier. And I think everyone here should take a look around. I'm probably not going to make another video going through people making comments about the assassination attempt. I think you guys get the point. But still be vigilant. Go around. See what people are saying. Because VTubers, content creators, celebrities, what have you, they're all going completely mask off. They feel safe enough to say these completely unhinged and violent things. And they think they're going to get away with it.
And that's the thing, is that these people have no problem being violent. And they have no problem having somebody else with that gun do what they want them to do. But they want to act like they're different.
A lot of them are playing their ukulele today. A lot of them are trying to apologize and move on and delete their tweets and act like nothing happened. But pay attention. Let them speak. Let them out themselves as these terrible people that they are and take note of it. But for now, that's going to do it for this video. I appreciate you guys listening. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the
Isn't it free speech, though? It absolutely is.
Comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah, so it absolutely is his freedom of speech. And as it is my freedom of speech to express my concern. I don't want to see his account banned. I don't want to see him banned at all. No, he should have every right to say that. But I also have every right to criticize what he's saying and to say what he's saying is fucking insane and it's stupid. Calling someone a soy boy whenever you're listening to a man talking through a waifu? I mean, hey, you're absolutely right. And think about that. The biggest soy boy on the screen isn't the man using an anime girl waifu avatar. Think about being even more of a soy boy than that. That's where we're at. That's bad, isn't it? See, now you see the problem. It's insane. It is. Oh my God. My boy, yeah, there's a video. Give it a like. That's a good video. I totally agree with this. I just... I don't know which one of these is the most pathetic. Ironically, this Alyssa, right, who, like, people were, like, always fucking hate her, she was the only one that I didn't have a problem with. This is the only one that I actually thought was funny. So think about how bad these people have to be for her to be the one that's out of the group the most reasonable. Yeah, I mean, bro, especially, bro, the VTuber LARPing as a revolutionary. And then the only thing that she responds to about it is that she's not fat. Doesn't that just tell you everything? Oh my God. Over the past 5 minutes, you've been telling us about what our opinions are supposed to be because that's how you feel, Zach. Thank you. You're welcome, man. Absolutely. I'll keep doing it, too. The same Stormtrooper joke was made here in chat the day it happened. Yeah. It's at a point where people hate politicians so much they want them to go away by any means necessary. Oh, I mean, people have been killing politicians forever. It's not this big new thing. It's just the problem is that it can't be the normal procedure. Like, you're always, like, you're going to have political assassinations in 100 years. Of course it's going to happen. Why wouldn't it happen? People have something happen. They're mad about the world. They see this person. They blame them for it. And then they try to kill him. Of course that happens. Yeah, it's not crazy. Some of these people are just the biggest fucking losers, man. It's so sad.